Testing, testing. Check 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's working. Actually, let's see if running this test impacts the stream, because it's so heavy on the CPU. I think it should be fine. Am I still here? Hello? Okay, that works. So yeah, I've written this path test function that it goes through all patches and starts at this S spawn marker and tries to find a path using A star to its neighbors. So this one would go up here, and then it would go up here, then it would go down here to this one, and to this one, and to this one. But this one particularly fails trying to reach this marker right here. And I'm not sure why. Maybe if I remove the tree. It could also be that the test is faulty. Yeah, it says it again. 91 to 111. But there's nothing blocking here. So in the test, these red strips are expanded by 1 at the edge, so they're actually bigger in the pathfinding inaccessible table. But this one should be irrelevant for this task because it's linking both of them. There's also no bad tiles underneath. For example, water which is not traversable. So this is pretty weird. Let me try removing some more stuff. Maybe that's a problem, but I can't imagine. No, yeah. Still stuck here. I've also noticed there's sometimes the button inputs the button inputs on the controller don't register, and that's new. I think it's just something to do with the throttling code for the VSync. Actually, while I'm stuck here, let me disable the throttling. Yeah. Why does this not go? Patch 111. So these steps here always belong to the, well, seems to be kind of random which patch they belong to. Maybe that's a problem. So these belong to this patch. But these here belong to this patch. And those also belong to the lower patch. Maybe that's an issue. Why is that? 94. Let me show the boundaries. So this one belongs to patch 94, which is down here. So they all belong to the lower one, except for this one. And this one. That's weird. So how do I find out what the problem is here? I mean, I can poke at it a bit more. And that did nothing. Is there maybe a region? Let's look at the patches. Okay, those have the same color, but they're different. And this all seems fine. I mean, it went through 91 patches and validated them all. This is 90. So this has been validated. So it reaches this point and this point. But actually, let's cut this in half. That's better anyway. And let's erase this. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Well, buttons still sometimes don't register. Okay, that worked. But why did it work? Let me check the neighbor's array size. That is in debug. BNB max. And that is in, where's that? In struct. It's 16. So there was definitely less than 16 neighbors. Okay, let's look at this one. Boundaries seem fine, not broken or anything. And the message message that showed, there it is, 100 to 121. That disappears. I've had some code to prevent that, but anyways, so 121. This is patch 100. It's 88. 74. This is 121. So it can't reach there. It might. I mean, the A star field is 128 tiles across, so it should be able to reach this. But let's cut this in half as well. And then I'll need a new spawn point here. Let's try this again. Nope, didn't like that. Why can't it reach here? So this is the boundary between them. And maybe it's because there's stuff on the boundary. Let's test that. Would be really weird if that would be the case, but let's check this. And we're still here. Okay. So that's good news and bad news. Because we're still stuck. Let's look at the tiles again. There's also nothing obstructing. And it only has 3 exits. And this one as well. Compared to the 5 of the other one. I mean, actually I wanted this test to show me problems that I can solve and not create new ones, but something's off. I mean, if I was a pathfinding algorithm, I'd have no problem finding this way. And this one will extend here, this one will extend up to here. Yeah, this will look like this. But there's still plenty of room to get in here. This one will look like this. Did it say what the problem was? I think it just said path error. No path error. So that's just the pathfinding saying nope. Maybe this confuses it. Nope. Are there weird flags? I mean, I can just walk it. I could if this wouldn't collapse. But yeah, I can walk through this. No problem. So the algorithm should be able to as well, because it uses the same code, except that it avoids these. I wish there was an easy way to print the path, but I mean the one that failed. I can, let me see if I can print how many tiles it walked. and where it stopped. Actually, that might be hard. So I return null here. So this is, I guess, not called at all. Man, I hate A star. It's just overcomplicated. Yeah. Let's remove this thing. Oh, but now I have, great. Where was it? Oh no. There were 2 start points now. Here. Let's remove this one. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's sometimes when I open this menu and press X, it's not working. It's weird. It's not registering. Okay, so 101, please be an easy one. 123, okay, this one is just bad. Just a bad patch. Hopefully. $111 to 120. So down here. So we're back again, but from the other side. So this is just why this gives me so much problems. So I killed the tiles. I'm placing the stairs again. And this thing again. Maybe there were some weird flags set. No. But something has to be wrong here, no? I don't get it. $109. Did that just change? Well, I mean, it makes sense. If I change the other patches. Why is it so weird? I mean, I would just stomp this and make it an unplayable area. This little thing right here, but I'm sure this problem will crop up later as well. I mean, this is dead and this is dead, but here's the spawn point. It just has to walk down here. Is this a flaw in the pathfinding? But it finds 100 paths. Why not this one? So if I enter the game from the editor, it collapses all of these at once. So if I imagine this one staying put and not collapsing, then there's still a path to here. Why? Why? So when initializing the pathfinding grid, I check each tile if it's a path, if it's occupied, and if it's a boundary or near a boundary. And that I check with, look at the, oh, do I need to look at 8 directions? So for each tile I look in all 4 directions, and if there's a boundary tile there, then I'll mark myself as a tile as unwalkable. Yeah, that leaves, I'll have to look in all 4 directions, 8 directions. But that might only make this test harder. But let's see. Yeah, stuck somewhere else this time. And that is going from, wait, great, didn't look. It's to 101, which is this one. So from this over here, so this will cover this area. That should be fine. Let's erase this, Because I can walk down here. What are these markers? Are they in the collision? Seems to... So if this works, then most probably these markers are counted in the count as tile obstructions, even though they are... Well, yeah, they are removed before the game. Well, anyways. Hey, 6 to 12. How's it going? Hope you're well. I'm testing the paths. Good on my lunch break. Just nipped to Lidl for some bakery treats. How are you, dude? I'm fine, thanks. Lunch break sounds good. Yeah, I've been... yesterday I've worked almost all day on the on the Steam page, and it's quite a hassle to get all the things that Steam requires. So I've spent almost all day on that, but it's done. I saw the notes on the side. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so many images in many different sizes, and some of them greater than 1080p, so I had to drag my PC to the television and make the screenshots there, and then I read a thing wrong and had to do it twice, so it was a process. But yeah, it's up for review now, and then it should be live as coming soon. A lot of swearing in between, I bet. I think so, actually, yeah. But that might have been, yeah, the funniest thing was uploading the images has an area where you drop them in from your browser, but I didn't have a browser, so I looked to my laptop and thought, okay, I'll do it there, but I don't have a browser on there, a file browser as well. So I panicked a little, but then I just installed one on the Linux machine. So I could drag and drop into Chrome. That was funny. But yeah, let's hope they accept what I've uploaded and what I've written. And then here I'll have the Steam present. Oh, I'm sorry. And I plan to launch in early access. So I've set all that up, but I've not tried uploading a build to Steam, and that could be an adventure as well. So not really looking forward to that. 101. So it's still not obvious why it fails. It couldn't be the marker now. It has only 3 exits. Don't know the process, but I imagine when it comes to uploading a build, it's got to go through some painful verification steps. I mean, the review process is fine. It's just that they have these containers haven't really looked into them. I just read about the Linux containers, and that sounds like pain immediately. But I haven't tried it. Maybe it's painless. But the review process, yeah, sure. I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. I'd rather have a store with a long review process than one with filled with flash games and asset flips. Nothing against flash games, but might get what I mean. Sounds like I just described star arrived at my end. So you might have been censored by Twitch. Itch.io, oh, okay. Yeah. Smaller games should maybe go there. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what I'm trying to say, but yeah, reviews are fine. I've dealt with them on iOS for years, so I'm used to that. But I can't figure out what's happening here. So it has to go from here to here, which is not a problem. But it craps itself. So what are you doing today? I saw the title, but I'm guessing you already had collision detection and stuff. Already forgot the title. Running into walls, yeah, that's the tester. The test runs into walls. I'm trying to find out what the problem is with the test runner. So that walks through the world and tests if all paths are accessible, so that the player doesn't run into soft locks because the path just is bugged. But the tester is bugged as well, or what I told it is bugged. I'm not sure. If I move this here, then so that's what running into walls means. Because somewhere here is an invisible wall. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, there has to be something wrong. This is completely walkable. Probably a bit overkill, but have you heard of rapid exploring random trees? It's an algorithm that might help with something like this. I think the witness used it for dynamically creating collision detection at runtime. I think well, I don't remember the algorithm, but I remember the blog post about it, I think. From Casey, I think. I mean, so this, yeah, Casey Muratory, the walking monster, I think is the article. Oh, okay. So yeah, my problem is much more constrained because it's not in a continuous 3D world. It's grid-based, so it's much simpler. And what I do with the algorithm that's running here, this path test, is I just go through all the patches. I land on the on the spawn marker in each patch, and then I walk to its neighbor's start patch, like this, and then it walks over here, and then it walks over here. And it takes into account the collapsing boundaries, and if I do that for every patch, then the map is solved. So yeah, and I could do it at run. I could make the boundaries check at runtime if they are blocking a path when they collapse, but could I do that? I think that would be more complicated. Nice. That's an interesting way to test. Yeah, it's just testing all the possible paths. Because the problem is, I mean, as the paths are right now, they all work. But the problem is the collapsing part of them. So if this one collapses, it might take other paths with it, and that's the problem. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have this test. I would just... well, actually, it's always good to have. But it's pretty easy to spot if you have a blocked path. What is the context behind the collapsing? So as you can see right here, this boundary is not collapsed right now. But if I enter the game, it collapses one elevation down. And that is to block off one possible way out of a patch for the player's path. So if the path comes up here and continues up here, then I want to collapse this one to not have a three-way crossroads. I just want a linear path. So this one drops down and then only those two remain. But because I'm in the editor, all of them collapse, so I can test what it looks like. But collapse literally in this case means its elevation gets reduced by 2 points actually. So it's yeah, just dropping it, and that's it. Yeah, they change depending on where the path goes. What triggers them to collapse? So how the paths are created by, or let me think, but it's pretty easy. The algorithm takes a random spawn point in the world, let's say this one, and then it looks at all the boundaries it has. This is one, this is one, and this is one, and then it chooses at random. Let's say it chooses this one, then it collapses the other two. This one gets dropped down, and this one gets dropped down. But this one stays open. And then it jumps to the next patch it has chosen. And then it chooses again at random. Of course not where it came from. That one's excluded from the possible set of exits. So it chooses between this one and this one. Let's say it chooses this one to take. Then it collapses this one. So that disappears. And so on. So this one has 4 choices, and accordingly the path makes its way through the world. If the path corners itself, like in the game Snake, then it resets and tries again. So there's always only one choice, but every time you restart the game you could have a different linear path to follow. Not quite sure what I mean with only one choice, but yeah, every time you restart, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a different path. Yeah, because the possibility space is just so large. So you have, not quite sure how many, but I think 1,000 or 2,000 patches that are these things here with the spawn point. And then even the first step could be 1 of 4. So that grows like crazy. So unless you know the seed, it's unlikely that you'll find the same path twice. Unless I screwed up and there are bottlenecks somewhere. Oh, actually, yeah. Bottlenecks are something that constrains the path. For example, bridges. So those are choke points. So the patches on either side are more likely to be chosen, of course. Well, actually, that would only be correct if the path wanted to cross the bridge. Yeah, forget what I said. What I mean is when you get to a patch, one of 3 exists. It's open to follow, and then the same with the next n amounts of patches. 3 exits. Oh yeah, it chooses always 1. Yes. It chooses only 1. And there are some non-paths. For example, this one has stairs, but it's not connected to a path. So this is always open. Yeah. And you could land up in the same patch at random in another save, but it's a rare chance it'll be the same exit this time. Correct. Correct. So you'll recognize places, but the path might take a turn before you get to them. Yeah, so you might want to, you might walk past a temple that you've visited before, but the path just winds around it this time, for example. Or, which is more exciting, the other way around, where you've before skirted the temple, now you're allowed into it. I really like that, forcing players to explore the world a little bit more. Good luck, speedrunners. Actually, yeah, I haven't thought about speedrunning in quite a while. For this game, at least. I mean, they can share a seed, but that might be a bit lame. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, the length of the path right now is always 100 patches. And they vary in size, but they're kind of comparable. So the length of a run is mostly the same. So that's actually possible to speedrun. Do I need to... I don't need to save that, I think. So let's use the hammer with this. Kill all that. And try again. Oh, it worked. So it was an entity. Restarting because I don't have an undo. Don't tell me it's this. What is it? Is it this? Oh, didn't want to save there. Nope. Where does camera go? It's a bit weird. What? Is it this? No. I'll have to study this. If it... Always removing the wrong ones. Still not. Is the problem this stuff here? Okay, that can't be. That's on a ledge. It would be really bad. Is it those three? Nope. This gets weirder and weirder, which is not a good sign. Did I remove a staircase last time? Did I just save that? Great. This test reminds me a bit of John Blau's testing tool in the game, where he test runs at runtime, gives rules to the player characters to solve the puzzle to prove that a puzzle is solvable. Yeah, the Benny tests. Oh, great! Now I'm saving everything. This is not quite that. So it was the stairs. Great. Did I save the stairs? Oh, thank God, it's right here. This is not quite a Benny test. I wrote down a to do one, just so I can watch this test do its thing. But for this case, checking the path, it's not that interesting. But it is interesting for let's say a player bot that walks through the game and plays a bit like a player. But what are the things I'm testing then? Hook in ChatGPT. Gemini finish Stojan for me, yeah. Gemini, can you tell me if this game is good? Yeah, I think there's not much use in that. I think it's much more useful if I play the game all the time and then come up with ideas. Hey Siri, how can I speedrun Stojan? Yeah. I'm guessing you don't have an iPhone, otherwise your phone would have gone off. I'm using headphones, but wait, what? I have an iPhone somewhere, but it's buried. Because it robs me of too much time. Actually, haven't had a smartphone in quite a few years now. So I solved the problem here by removing one exit, which is of course not what I want. Let's move this here maybe. Ah, when I said it, that makes sense. Did the same to a friend who has an Alexa, and he read out my message, and Alexa proceeded to play the theme to High School Musical. Oh, that's actually devious. Making the iPhone owner say the thing. That's funny. Test, please. Hey Scott, some streamers have been doxxed that way. Oh. How do you dox someone? By using Siri? Or by asking the address or something? Yeah, I'm curious as well. Asking for a friend. Because yeah, I feel iPhone doxing immune. Alexa, what's my address? Oh. That's kind of scary. Could work. But yeah. So I'm absolutely stuck here. This is not working. I might be... Let me remove this code that extends the red tile's reach in the pathfinding. Maybe ask to add JavaScript for Dummies into the basket at checkout. That's the most devious thing I'd do. That's also pretty funny. Yeah, address doxing is pretty bad. Yeah, but I don't have any speech recognition stuff, so I'm not. I don't have to worry about that. Yes, remove this F0. Actually, and if let's move these here. No smartphone either, which is interesting. Yeah. TBH probably why you get shit done. That's, yeah. I mean, I still have a laptop, so it's still bad sometimes when I go on YouTube binges, but haven't been on one for a couple of weeks now, so that's good as well. We have it at my house, but not an earshot of the computer room. Yeah, that makes sense. YouTube and GTA 5 driving, yeah. I've been getting closer to that. At least I've been listening to some GTA radio while working, so. Okay, this is now completely different. I've removed the the blowing up of the boundaries, but it still dies here, so this might actually be a real bug, but I mean a real problem in the terrain, but don't see it. Also didn't watch what it told me, where the error was. Hello? Okay, that was a long test. 169. That is here. So it can't find its way up here. Let's hide the objects. What is this? Rock. That looks normal. My recent YouTube is filled with CS50 from Harvard. Now I'm learning more about C with Dr. Chuck S. He's using the KNR to teach C in data science. Yeah, KNR is nice. I have that in my shelf back there. There's one guy called Joseph Joe. He's a big OpenBSD guy, and he did a 4-minute video on why he doesn't own a smartphone. And he's been using the same clamshell phone since 2008. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any big reasons. It's just that it eats up all my time. Nothing ideological. Okay, this might just be too close here. And I've tried putting the phone on black and white mode before, but that's also not a big enough cut for me, at least. Wouldn't call my Nokia X100 a smartphone, but I've had it for 8 years. Bad for 200. That sounds good. Yeah, I also still have every phone I ever owned somewhere in a drawer. And they all still work. I miss my old BlackBerry, to be honest. 16 Pro Max is nice and all and great for keeping track of ice hockey, but it's 80% of cesspit distraction, yeah. What phone do I have? I have a Panasonic phone. Actually, I should move that away because it interferes with the with the microphone. Lucky that didn't go off, because yeah, we'd all be jump scared. Didn't realize they make phones. Yeah, me neither. I just saw it on Amazon, I think. And it was the least shitty looking dumb phone they had, so. My job relies on me having something that can have Slack and Outlook installed on a minimum. Yeah, I get that. Motorola makes great tough phones. Didn't know they still made phones. They made a bunch of military electronics, or at least they did when I was in. Isn't PowerPC from Motorola, or am I mixing that up with something else? Why does it? Oh, this might be the problem. Why does it say boundary here? Up here is fine, but not here. No boundary, boundary, no boundary. I had a flip Motorola Razr. That was my mom's. Purple one was when I was little. Had a tiny screen so I could see who was calling or texting as flipping up would answer. Yeah, I know the Motorola Razrs. When I was in school, that was the hottest commodity. Everyone was cool with a Razr. VND. Okay, so there's a fundamental problem with how what might be just a display problem. Check how the editor determines what is a boundary. Wait, isn't it looking down here? Oh, there's also a boundary here. Wait. That's exactly one away in each cardinal direction. That's what I told it to do. Oh God. I can't remove that. No. I still don't get it. When I was in school, everyone had Blackberries because BBM and the big was the big thing all the time. Yeah, I had a Blackberry as well. It was an amazing phone actually, except that the browser was unusable. I was explaining this to a friend who's learning to code, and he was born in 2007. So missed the non-smartphone era. He also missed the beeper era. I lived through that. I think I missed that as well. I was born in 98, yeah. I'm not quite sure, but I think here in Germany there never was a beeper era. But that would have been before my time as well. Right, I better get back to work. Just gonna lurk for a bit. Got a meeting at some point. Alright, thanks for checking in. 6 for 12. Hope you have a good meeting. In the meanwhile, I'll try to fix this mess that I made. And that is the display. So it shows in the editor that there's a boundary when this function returns something, which is in tile.c. Range check, and then if it's in the flood map, okay, let's see how the flood map is filled. This is a bit scary. Oh, it floods outside. Does it? Okay, that might just be one missing check. Okay, it resets the whole map. That's good. And then, so it is at runtime. And then it floods. If it's a boundary, if the tile is flagged with boundary and it's not already set. Yeah, if it's not marked as unflooded in the flood map, then initialize and flood the area. Same check here. And I have to do, yeah, this is missing up here. Take care, gonna study and stop procrastinating. Alright, Scott. See you later. Thanks for checking in. And have fun learning C. Continue is not in loop. Okay. Oh God. What is this even? Path.c. Or tries to find the path. Maybe I should do the check here. Oh God, this is a mess. So this is called, at the top left corner of a grid of boundary tiles, the red ones. It has found one when this is called, but it still checks. Wait, did I undo that, yeah. It still checks if it's really a boundary, which is okay because this is recursive. And then it sets its index in the flood map. Okay. If it's not a boundary, okay, then this doesn't make sense. Yeah, this is the check. I just didn't read it far enough. If it's not a boundary, oh, I have to. Okay, now I get it. Oh, that's complicated. So basically, it floods the red area if while flooding it steps outside the red area. It looks at the patch index of that tile to save for this boundary which patches are on either side. But that also means that this needs to move here. I think that's it. So that only when it is actually inside the red area will it mark the flood map with the boundary, which is what I was seeing as strange overflowing boundaries. Okay, I'm back here, but this time it's gone. But here is a boundary, so that's good. But yeah, this time it's correct. There's nothing sticking out, but it looks like that wasn't actually the problem. Let's run this again. Did it run? No, didn't register. Uh, 169. Okay, so it's still the same. Yeah, it wants to go up here. It can't. Why can't it do that? Let me look at the occupied code, which is of course false. Yeah. Thank God this is another lead at least. So this function is called in the pathfinding to determine if a tile is walkable. But for the player, so it checks if an entity is there, but for the player can destroy bushes, so they shouldn't count. Which all makes sense, because up until now I've not used this pathfinding code for the player, but only for monsters, because the player doesn't need to find a path, right now at least. So there's an occupied check here. I'll have to replace that with something from the nav code. Okay, I'll use this here as well. Where was the check I need? It was to see if there's an entity there and if it's indestructible. Is that in game? Would be entity at. No. Where was that check? Was it in tile? Nope. Okay, let's just write it ourselves. If the entity at W and L is not null and E oops like this. Actually, let's look here. HP. Let's look at the tree, and the tree has health 0. Yeah, I think that's so. I hope that was it. And declared. Ah. Okay, testing. Still here. Still here. It cannot climb up here. That makes no sense. Serious. That does make sense. Empty patch form. That makes sense. The first error today, that makes sense. Now it says test okay. But can I trust that? I can test it. Why didn't it alert me to this? Yeah, this is just bad. Actually, it was like this. The thing I've taken out again was the extended bounds. So I'll just have to put them back in. Wrong one. Great. And I don't check if the oh god, let me not lose that thought. Do I have I don't have a blocking flag anymore. For the longest time I had a flag on objects that says they block the path, but I think it's just the size. Let's see the marker. Size 0. So here that's objects. So the size must be greater than 0 as well, so I don't run into these markers. Okay, test okay. And actually this one can go. And let's increase the size again, the boundaries. Maybe not here, but here. What? Okay. Not sure what tile version I was editing right now. But it looks like this already was set to 1. Oh no, there's an arrow. Also, the first tile. That sounds bad. So there couldn't be an error here. But there. 5 down here. Yeah, so this is wrong again. I'll go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. Oh, Scott, thanks for the follow. If you're still listening. Yeah, so we're back at non-functioning tests. At least they are weird. So this is the very first patch in the world. I've told it to increase the size of these boundaries to basically this size. But it's allowed to walk through this one. Wait, it's this size. It's allowed to walk through there. And this one is completely in the opposite direction. So why? Let me look at the code again. Returns 1 if tile at P or one of its neighbors is a relevant boundary. Why its neighbors? Oh, because radius +1. This, I need a 0 there as well. So let's look at the simple check. If there's a boundary at P and it's not relevant, then return 1. So if this returns 1, it should mark the tile as unwalkable. And same here. Might just be the second check right here that I didn't do. Okay, so this is a different error. From 3 to 6, 6 is over here. That's also not right. Oh, okay, there was an error there. Okay, there's a weird tile there. Where were we? 4 to 15. 4, 15 down here. That should work. Let's see if that's still a problem. Why can't it walk through bushes? If entity at this exists and its size is greater than 0 and its health is 0, then mark it as unwalkable. But the bush has a height, so that's excluding it outright. Yeah, size is the first thing. Do I have another check that I'm not looking at? Add elevation. Well, it's just this. Don't get it. But at least it finds more reasonable things now. What was it, 109? Didn't look. Yeah. 78 to 109. Where is 109? Okay, just as I finish speaking. Talking about reasonable. Oh, here it is. I'm wrong. So it again has problems. Oh yes, this is a problem. Absolutely. Great. That's actually the kind of errors I was looking for. So 124 is... This is a big patch. Oh. That's bad. Let's drop this. Where's 124? Is it 43? No. 34. 34. This one, okay. So it can't go from here up here. Why not? I mean, if it wants to go this way, that'll fail. But it could just go this way. Which way is it trying to go? I mean, I can just remove those two. Try again. Do I have to save? Nope. What is it complaining about? Actually, I don't like how large this thing is. But I mean, it's just 4 exits. So that should be fine. Actually, that's not good. So this just... Yeah, I can just walk around here without a problem. Oh, I'm not looking at all the... Yeah, I'm stupid. It tries to go here. It doesn't try to go here, but down to here. And there's bushes in the way. And somehow it can't cope with them. But that's a good place to test that. What does path do? It just checks the tile. It doesn't check entities. Wait, am I think I'm stupid. I think the reason why it doesn't... Wait. I was just thinking. This thing tests in the editor. Does not start a game. So there's no entities. But why does it stop at them? Um, So if the object has a size greater than 0 and first of all, if it's greater than 0, let's say, yeah, greater, that's fine. And if its health is 0. (20 to 25). (25 is here. Well, that's exactly what I've told it. Oh yeah, this is correct actually. It cannot pass here. So let's push this back. To here maybe, yeah. And add upgrade. That's completely unreadable. I want the boundary to be recognizable, not covered with entities. Okay, that's done. 50 to 79. Here. I'm walking. And then, yeah, this is a problem. So this test is finally working. 74. So it walks down here. It can't get past here. Okay, we're back here. Oh yes, there it is. Let's drop this down. Well, like this. To 143 here. What? That's not connected. $123, $243. Is it? Yeah. This is missing a boundary. But still, oh, here, this is what it's trying to do. I hope it's trying to get out here. Yeah, it should. Because of this one. Yep. Man, I have to reprogram my brain to recognize these errors. Still doesn't like it. Okay, let's walk it. Go here, walk over here. I mean, this will... I hope it ignores the bush. So this belongs to it, so this is fine. Oh, and this is still, yeah. Makes sense. Uh, 152. 152 here. So it walks here and collides there, and then that should fix it. 162. That's just down there. Oh, I'm still not in the mode. This is looking for the start position, not for just entering the patch. Let's raise this one and set, well, set it there. I'm not sure if these start positions should all be in nooks and crannies, but I was just thinking where I would pitch a tent. But yeah, maybe I'll have to change that. So 190 is this. Walking, and then Okay, this has... Oh. Should I... No, I can't cut this in two because there's no other way. But this is, of course, the error. And then I'm here. $212. Okay. Walking. Yeah, this is the problem. It's still a problem. I'm curious as to what this looks like. I don't remove that one. Okay, next. $208. What? Still the same, okay. Why can't... Oh, there's... Okay, get it. $203. That's here. Okay, let's walk it. Yeah, this is a problem. And okay, let's go further. This works. Then I'll have to get down to here. Okay, 196. It's just down here. That's what I just did. Okay, I screwed that up. Didn't look. 229. 229 is here. So let's walk it. I can't go through here, that's the problem. Go over here. And then we're there. Uh, 213. So here. Walking. Okay, that's a problem. And then that's it. 235. Imagine I, in a couple of years, know all of these patch numbers by heart. That would be kind of crazy. They've probably put me away at that point. Okay, why doesn't this work? Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, where am I trying to go? Well, there's no start point. Two, 6, 3. There's no start point. Yeah. Oops, I wanted to save this. Two, 7, 3. Yeah, down there. Okay, walking. And I can't get past this. So wait, actually, okay, 308. That is down here. Walking. Looks fine to me. Oh, here. That's the problem. Two, 8, 6. Up here. Okay. Can't get out of this. And then that's okay. Uh, 314. Here. Okay. Walking. Can't get past there. $3.14. Okay. Same thing. There's stuff under the bushes. Not what I wanted. 357 down here. Three, 6, 9. Walking. That's the problem. Three, 7, 4. It's down there. Okay, I can't get past here. Why is there stuff under the bushes? Well, I have to cut this. Here, so let's raise this. That should do. Three, 7, 5. Walking down here, and then there's absolutely nothing in between. Don't get that one. Hello? Okay, 3, 7, 4. Where's oh, just decreased in number. Okay, that was the problem apparently. 4, 1, 6. Okay. $4.15. Okay. $4.19. It's always down and to the right, I think. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, this is obvious. Empty patch 3. Oh. Okay. Uh, 4.22. This one. Okay, walking up here. This should allow me to pass. Oh, that looks bad. Okay, that's better. Would be fun to test what happens if, except for the boundaries that have stairs. Oh God, how does that's awful. Except for those, what happens if I raise them instead of lowering them? So they would all become walls. Or maybe randomly. I mean, the problem is I don't want the world to become completely unrecognizable between runs. But that might be fun to try. Anyways, where was I? $422. That's here. Oh, there is none. Okay, great. $433. Up here. Walking, walking, walking. And yeah, that's a problem. So this testing algorithm is pretty good now. It's 455. I hope it finds everything that I wanted to. Where's 455? Oh, up here. Yeah, that makes sense. So these errors, they are insanely hard to spot from above. And yeah, they break the game. They're super frustrating. So thankfully, this seems to find those errors. Okay, there's no start point. Uh, 462. That makes sense. Is that enough? Great, it locked me out of my emails. Okay, still same error. Which is down here. But this is fine, but yeah, this tree has to go. Four, six, seven. Okay, walking. And there was a problem. And then here, that's also... Can't get past here. No, I can. Still the same problem. Oh yeah, because of this tree. Let's move it somewhere else. This one as well. $4.79. That is over here. So walking, and this is the problem. Test okay. Very nice. Don't like this one, so let's chop that one in half. Why are there these large ones here left? Thought I shrank them all down, but yeah, I found out that having these boundaries really just be strips instead of areas makes for a much more intricate world. And here these super long ledges at this little pond here of the walkable terrain. I'll break them up as well so that it looks more interesting. For example, maybe not with two trees there, but like this. And that looks much better already. Maybe drop this, maybe not. We raised this up as well. And that's much more, what's the word? Yeah, it's much more interesting, it's much gentler, and it looks less like a video game. I mean, it's a video game, alright, but get what I mean. So yeah, that's much more interesting, at the very least. And as you can see, it can also become a problem. With the boundaries. with this thing sticking out here. That's better. But yeah, that'll be, I'm not sure when I will do that work, because there might be more important tasks. Things that are more important. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure on what I'll do next. I might add a few features, because that's still a problem. See, I think what's missing the most is the game reacting to the player. Not in terms of showing visual feedback or posing a challenge, but in terms of consequence and immersion. So I'll think about that a bit, and then I'll prioritize the tasks. Yeah, but that's it from me for today. What's tomorrow? Friday. I'll be back tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'll be thinking about what to do next. I still have a few open to-dos for Steam, I think. Was it Steam? For the release, at least. And I'll see if they take priority. Otherwise, I'll start with game stuff again tomorrow. All right.